Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily topic-wise news analysis where I'll be covering the news from the Hindu and Indian Express. So I'll be covering the most important news of the day, and additionally I'll be supplementing that content with some important information that can help you in prelims and mains examination. So let's get started with the topic first. Today is 1st of May. The first topic is additional power to armed forces to tackle the COVID-19 crisis. Second, government reworks on remdesivir allocation. Third, PM want NGO volunteers to help the healthcare sector. The second last topic, Supreme Court issues notice to center on sedition law. The misuse of sedition has long been on a debate. And the last is rising sun in India's Japan relationship. So these are some of the important editorial and news reported in today's newspaper. Apart from this, at the end of this session, at the end of this discussion, I'll have some MCQs question for you, which you can practice. The questions are based on current affair that will definitely help you in the upcoming prelims examinations. So let's get started. And before I begin, a small announcement about the program. This is a full length test complemented by 3 CSAT tests. So you have to just refer to the description section of this video where I provided link to register for this course. The first news, additional power to armed forces to tackle the COVID-19 crisis. Talking about the importance, it can be important for your gender studies paper 3, various security forces, agencies and their mandate. So the Defense Ministry has recently invoked a special provision and they have granted the emergency financial power to the armed forces to empower them to speed up their efforts to fight the COVID-19 crisis. So Ministry of Defense ने एक बहुत ही important decision ली है जहाँ पे जो आर्म्ड फोर्सेस हैं, उनके जो सुपीरियर ऑफिसर्स हैं, उनको एम्पावर किया गया कि वो फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस ले सके इस इमरजेंसी के टाइम में, एंड दैट डिसीजन शुड गिव एन इम्पैक्ट एंड प्रैक्टिकलिटी ऑन ओवरकमिंग द कोविड-19 क्राइसिस. नाउ एम ऑफ द स्पेशल supervision and the financial power, क्या aim है, what was the rationale behind taking this decision? So the financial emergency power will help the formation of commanders to establish and operate the quarantine facilities. इंडिया में जहाँ भी आप देखेंगे, जहाँ पे भी आर्मी की establishment है, they got very good hospitals. So उस जगह पे, उस एरिया पे quarantine facilities बनाने के लिए, if it not there, the proximity area can be considered. Hospital undertaking the procurement, repair of equipments, items, materials and store, beside providing the various services and work. So as you know, in any calamity, army is something which is a last resort for country. We have seen in any like tsunami, NDRF team has been deployed. That is not a paramilitary forces, but again, talking about other stuff, no, we always have seen army taking a lead during the crisis in India. So under this power, the vice chiefs of the armed forces and all other equivalent rank officers from the 3 services, specifically from the Navy, would be asked to utilize the fund, and these power would be deployed initially for 3 months. So government is checking that how this financial independence and how this competencies of taking financial decision will help in overcoming the problem. So the tenure which has been set by the government is from May 1st to July 31st, 2021. Now, supply of oxygen cylinders, as we have seen the severe shortage of cylinders in Delhi, Mumbai and many other parts in the country, specifically talking about the states like Maharashtra, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, this state have been witnessing the shortfall of oxygen cylinders. Now, to meet this problem, an urgent requirement of oxygen cylinders would be taken into the country, and a dedicated agencies, DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, is arranging the big size oxygen cylinders. As you know, oxygen cylinder has always been kept in a cryogenic tanks. तो एक क्रायोजेनिक टैंक्स होती है जहाँ पे लिक्विड सिलेंडर, जो लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन होते हैं, उनको रखा जाता है, राइट? सो दे वुड बी फुलफिलिंग दैट रिक्वायरमेंट, एंड डेफिनेटली दिस रिक्वायरमेंट बी मेट बाय द हॉस्पिटल्स. जो जिस हॉस्पिटल को जरूरत है उनको वो सप्लाई करेंगे. In fact, DRDO handed over 75 such cylinders to the Department of Health and Family Welfare of the NCT of Delhi, that is National Capital Territory of Delhi. नाउ नेवी कंटेनमेंट्स की अगर बात करें, जो कंटिजेंट्स होगी वो किस तरह से काम करेगी. सो इन नेवी देयर 76 मेडिकल कंटिजेंट्स, 5 नेवल हॉस्पिटल्स अराउंड द कंट्री दैट वुड बी बोस्टरिंग द मैन पावर रिक्वायरमेंट, और 900 बेड की कोविड हॉस्पिटल बनाई गई है अहमदाबाद में. वी हैव सीन द सिचुएशन इज गेटिंग वर्स्ट इन गुजरात एज वेल, विद द नंबर ऑफ द केसेस इज रिपोर्टेड none less than 40,000 to 50,000 on a daily basis. Now talking about the cantonment board, which is again under the direct jurisdiction of Ministry of Defense. So वहाँ पे भी support को extend किया जाएगा to civil administration, to the various part of the country to tide or surge in the cases. जहाँ पे cases बढ़ी हुई है उसको control करने के लिए. And presently in India we have 39 cantonment board that are being maintained by the 40 general hospital that have 1240 beds, right? So these are the present availability of the hospitals and the bed in India. Now coming to the other news, government revokes remdesivir allocation. As we have seen, the drugs, the injections of the remdesivir was again shortfall in India. Now the US has promised to provide an acute supply of remdesivir drugs. Now government would be definitely reallocating this injections to hospital in the state government. So issues related to development and management of health. Let's see what are the details coming from this news. So the union government has recently announced an enhanced allocations of drugs remdesivir to state battling with the second wave of COVID-19 infections, right? और जिस तरह से गवर्नमेंट फेल हुई थी इसके अवेलेबिलिटी को पहुंचाने में, ऑलमोस्ट इट टेक 10 days फॉर द गवर्नमेंट टू get into the availability. We have seen the shortfall of this drug, the remdesivir drug, in many states like Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh. So these states have an acute shortfall. Even Uttar Pradesh is witnessing a shortfall nowadays. So remdesivir supply is helping in fighting the pandemic with deeper resolve. Actually, this is not the final problem. People are considering remdesivir as an miracle to the COVID-19 infection, but this only help to intensify उसकी जो intensity है उसको कम करने में ही मदद करती है, to let down the intensity of the virus. Now about remdesivir, as we are discussing, it is equally important for you to understand. I know many of you must be aware about remdesivir. So this is an antiviral drug that can be manufactured, that was actually manufactured in India in 2014 to fight Ebola virus. जो Middle East Respiratory Syndrome है उसमें ये काम आती थी. And the fact is that India already had large number of remdesivir drug during December. अगर दिसंबर की बात करूँ तो remdesivir की प्रोडक्शंस बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा दी गई थी इंडिया में, एंड इट वॉज नॉट बींग यूटिलाइज बिकॉज उसकी जो टाइम होती है, जितने ड्यूरेशन में उसको इंजेक्ट करना होता है, उसकी वैलिडिटी खत्म होने की वजह से रेमडेसिविर के सारे ड्रग्स को डिस्ट्रॉय किया गया इंडिया में. एंड यू कैन सी नाउ इन द मंथ ऑफ मार्च वी आर फेसिंग अ शॉर्टफॉल, सो दैट वी हैव टू इम्पोर्ट द ड्रग फ्रॉम अदर कंट्रीज, राइट? सो दिस इज कॉल्ड मिसमैनेजमेंट एंड कंप्लीट फेल्योर ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. Now, remdesivir is injected in intravenously, it subsumes itself to the genetic material of various prevented and replicable enzymes, making the new copies of the virus, right? So this is definitely a drug which is helping out. किसी भी ड्रग में सबसे इफेक्टिव ड्रग है रेमडेसिविर, बट डेफिनेटली दिस इज नॉट द सब्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ कोविड-19 वैक्सीन. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट कोविशील्ड और यू टॉक अबाउट कोवैक्सीन और स्पुतनिक 5, रेमडेसिविर कैन नॉट सब्स्टिट्यूट एनी अदर वैक्सीन. नाउ between 21 to 30 there was a severe shortfall of this drug. State government were just running short of this, and they have asked the central government to ensure the supply, and they have also requested Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Department of Pharmaceutical and Chemical to ensure this drug availabilities. Now as per the revised plan, जो central government ने कहा है कि they would be giving 18 lakh vials of remdesivir by May 2, that is by tomorrow. They would be transferring these drugs to the state government, and state will now be allocated on average of 1.5 lakh doses a day over 12-day period. So accordingly जितनी ज़रूरत, जितनी शॉर्टफॉल हुई है, वो सारी ड्रग्स स्टेट्स को मुहैया कराई जाएगी फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, right? So this is something basically delayed has already been take place, but this is a time that we need to compensate and we need to save a lot more life. Now, from Indian Express, PM wants NGO volunteer to help the healthcare sector. This is something which is again important during the time of crisis, where we are also witnessing the shortfall of manpower. So this is the right time that NGO and other volunteers can contribute during this health crisis. Important for your General Studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for development in various sectors. So what Prime Minister has said, he said that the COVID cases is having an unprecedented surge. This is exponential surge that we are seeing in the country. So to overcome this, definitely civil society volunteers and non-specialized tasks can be assigned. तो ऐसे volunteer जो civil society में already काम करते हैं, उनको कुछ non-specialized tasks पे utilize की सकती है. We have seen many other people like nurses are working for the administrative work also. They are maintaining register also. They have to see patients also. So कुछ ऐसे काम को वहाँ पे distribute की जा सकती है जहाँ पे एक citizen centric काम किया जा सकता है, right? And it could definitely pressure off the healthcare sector during this COVID crisis. Now, the message was conveyed during the meeting, which was recently being held by the Empowered Group. So, Prime Minister ने कुछ 4 Empowered Group बनाए हैं, but this again, the Empowered Group has not given any success till date. So we can see that this is the failure of the Empowered Group also, which has led to these situation that we are facing as of now. Now discussion on various issues, अगर बात करें कुछ important चीज़ों को जिसमें highlight की गई है. So the importance of NGO has been highlighted. NGO किस तरह से काम कर सकती है. Communications between the patients, dependents and healthcare personnel can be established through the non-governmental organizations. एक सर्विसमैन को बात की गई है कि they can be deployed. All the people, doctor who have retired, actually doctor do not retire, but the medical doctors who have retired, who are government doctor, they can rejoin their services and they can help people during the home quarantine. And it was also said that the possibility of enabling one nation, one ration card is the need of the hour, which government should be coming up with. इंश्योरेंस स्कीम को फ्रंट लाइन हेल्थ वर्कर में बढ़ाने की जरूरत है. गवर्नमेंट हैज ऑलरेडी सेड दैट 50 लाख रुपीज वुड बी प्रोवाइडेड टू ईच एंड हेल्थ केयर वर्कर whomsoever died during the COVID. So उसको बढ़ाने की बात की गई है. इसको 6 मंथ तक और एक्सटेंड कर दी जानी चाहिए. Now the PM has directed the central government to work in a close coordination with the state. जहाँ भी लॉजिस्टिक्स प्रॉब्लम है उसको ओवरकम करने के लिए सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की जितनी भी मिनिस्ट्रीज असाइन की गई है, एम्पावर्ड ग्रुप जो है वो स्टेट के साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन में काम करे. एंड द पुअर शुड बी गेटिंग द बेनिफिट ऑफ फूड ग्रेन एज वेल. द प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैज ऑल्सो इंस्ट्रक्टेड द ग्रुप that they need to holistically cover the movement of the goods and supply chain can be avoided. जो supply chain disruption है उसको avoid की जा सके. The planning should be good. For time being, we have not seen any good management or good governance or transparency, but we expect that these government should definitely work for the welfare of the citizen. Now provisions of food grain and financial support, it was definitely being asked कि जो food grain की सप्लाई है जहाँ पे प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने ऑलरेडी प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना PMGKY में एक्सटेंशन की थी और इसको बढ़ा दिया गया है अंडर द नेशनल फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट. सो गवर्नमेंट हैज एक्सटेंडेड इट फॉर अनदर 3 months. If the lockdown extend or if this restriction goes on, it would definitely be extended. So the new version of scheme does not include important components that 1 kg of pulses that was being provided previously. उसको नहीं include किया गया है. Only 5 kgs of food grain would be provided to each and every individual per month. Now Supreme Court has issues notice to center on the sedition law. The misuse of sedition has long been seen in the country like India, where freedom of speech and expression has already been underlined by the Supreme Court. But we know the government is taking all precautionary measures to curb the voices. Important for your general studies paper 2, structure, organization and function of judiciary. So what has happened recently on the Supreme Court में petition फाइल की गई, एक plea फाइल की गई जहाँ पे ये चैलेंज किया गया जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वैलिडिटी है सेक्शन 124 ऑफ IPC टू पेनलाइज अंडर द सेडिशंस. राइट, तो बेंच के जो जजेस थे, 3 judges were there and they have asked the central government to reply on the 2 journalists they have found the plea from Manipur and Chhattisgarh. The 2 journalists have filed the plea in the Supreme Court challenging the constitutional validity of section 124A. I will tell you what is 124A is. So before we proceed, what is sedition law? Sedition is a crime under section 124A of the IPC, जो इंडियन पिनल कोड है उसके सेक्शन 124 में ये सारी प्रोविजंस हैं. एंड सेक्शन 124 डिफाइन द सेडिशन एज एन ऑफेंस कमिटेड. किस तरह की ऑफेंसेस में कंसिडर की जाती है? इफ एनी पर्सन, अगर कोई भी इंडिविजुअल है, अपने वर्ड्स इधर बाय स्पोकन और रिटन, बाय साइन, बाय विजिबल रिप्रेजेंटेशन और अदरवाइज ब्रिंग टू अटेम्प्ट्स हेट्रेड or contempt or excite or even attempt to excite the disaffection towards the government established by the government of India. So this is what I actually quoted. So you can pause this video, you can read it out. तो गवर्नमेंट को यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा लिबर्टी मिल जाती है, बहुत वाइड इन पावर मिल जाती है, जिस वजह से वो सेडिशन के चार्जेस सारे लोगों पे लगा रहे हैं. Now allegations that was raised by the centers, तो petitions ये फाइल की गई है. तो एक्चुअली जो पिटिशनर थे उन्होंने कहा कि दिस वुड बी पिटिशन नॉट द सेंटर, सो दिस वुड बी द पिटिशनर विच वे दे फाइल एंड दे हैव सेड दैट द पिटिशनर सेड दैट दे वर चार्ज्ड विद सेडिशन फॉर क्वेश्चनिंग द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एंड सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज़ कमेंटेड ऑन कार्टून शेयर ऑन द सोशल मीडिया. तो जो पिटिशनर्स ने फाइल की थी एलिगेशन, उसमें ये कहा गया कि उन्हें बिना मतलब का सेडिशन के चार्जेस लगाए गए हैं एंड द कंटेंट ऑफ द प्रोविजन इन्फ्रिंजेस अपॉन द फंडामेंटल राइट, जहाँ पे फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन ऑलरेडी ग्रांटेड है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के आर्टिकल 19(1). कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आर्टिकल 91A में दिस इज ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइडेड. Now, alleging frequency, misuse and applications of the law since 1962, they have asked the central government to curtail the democratic freedom of this individual. So these were some of the allegations that petitioner has raised. Now, Kedarnath Singh versus State of Bihar में already Supreme Court ने judgment दी है, जहाँ they have upholded its validity in 1962 Kedarnath case में. You can quote this as well. So petitioner said while the government may have been corrected in finding nearly 60 decades, but अभी तक उसकी constitutional validity जो है, जो उसकी implementation है, वो नहीं हो पाई है. Now the last news, this is a rising sun in India-Japan relationship, an editorial from Hindu written by Harsh V. Pant and Sasank Mattu. So they work under the ORF, Observer Research Foundation, and they have given the insight about India, Japan, and some angle to US relationship. So the newly elected Prime Minister of Japan, he has turned out to be the good successor of his previous Prime Minister, that is Shinzo Abe. He has also ruled the Japan for a very long time. तो जो पॉलिसी फ्रंट है, जो फॉरेन पॉलिसी फ्रंट है, उसमें बहुत सारी चेंजेस में ही इज़ डूइंग वेल. एंड इवन ही विजिटेड यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स लास्ट मंथ एंड दे हैव डिस्कशन रिगार्डिंग द इंडो पैसिफिक इंगेजमेंट और उसको कैसे वाइडर किया जाए. डेफिनेटली इफ टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडो पैसिफिक, इंडिया वुड बी इनएविटेबल पार्ट ऑफ इट. नाउ आफ्टर मच ऑफ द सक्सेशन ऑफ द क्वाड समिट, सब पार्टीज ने एग्री किया कि 4 नेशन को बेसिकली स्ट्रेंथन करने की ज़रूरत है अपनी कमिटमेंट, where the United States, India, Australia and Japan can overcome the problem of China. So the Japan premier has also is planning to visit India. जब वो visit करेंगे, because of pandemic, his plan is being delayed. Hopefully virtual meeting would help. तो जो dealing होगी, that would be under the preview that can be expected that India and Japan can discuss a lot about developing the Quad membership. Now preview of India Japan expectations, क्या India expect कर सकती है जापान से. The new prime minister should definitely call for strengthening the relationship. So the first one can expect the continuation of balancing security policy against China, जो China की dominance है उसको कम करने के लिए. And India clashes with China in the Galwan Valley. We have seen the response of China. It took none less than an year to roll back China. और इन्होंने इंटेंशनली सारी चीज़ें की हैं एंड आफ्टर विच दे आर ऑल्सो डोमिनेटिंग द पर्टिकुलर रीजन. एंड इन द दस डिकेड, इंडिया एंड चाइना हैव एक्सपैंडेड द हाई लेवल मिनिस्ट्रियल ब्यूरोक्रेटिक कॉन्टैक्ट्स एज वेल एंड डेफिनेटली दे वुड बी कंडक्टिंग द मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइजेस. जो एक्विजिशंस है, क्रॉस सर्विंग एग्रीमेंट है, लॉजिस्टिक एग्रीमेंट, दैट वुड बी टेकिंग प्लेस राइट बिटवीन इंडिया एंड जापान. Now the second partnership that India is looking forward is with the technology partnership. Technology is again something which Japan has its own advantage. तो अगर बात करें cooperation in terms of cyber security, emerging technology, this is what India look forward with the help of Japan. And during the previous prime ministership of Japan, India and Japan put together digital research innovation partnership, जहाँ पे 5G और AI जो है एल्गोरिदम टेक्निक्स पे काम करने के लिए, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पे काम करने के लिए, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स पे काम करने के लिए उन्होंने ऑलरेडी MOU साइन किए हुए हैं. Now, infrastructure development, this is something which is again very important both for India as well as for Japan. So this would be the third level of commitment that India would be looking forward. So India infrastructure development में बहुत हद तक जापान के साथ agreement करने पे है. And even the Japan has poured around 34 billion investment in Indian economy पिछले 2 दशक में, even in 2 decades, fast 20 years. And India is only 12th largest trading partner. And trade volumes की अगर बात करें, it just stand 5th of the volume of India-China bilateral trade. Further, India need to be key resources of continued infrastructure development, जहाँ पे connectivity की issues को highlight किया जाएगा. And even India look forward for Northeast Andaman and Nicobar Island development by Japan. और RCP की फ्रंट पे अगर बात करें तो जापान ये चाहता है कि इंडिया अपने डिसीजन को, जो RCP के डिसीजन से इंडिया ने विड्रॉ किया है, उसको रिवर्सल करे ताकि और सारे कंट्रीज को भी इसका बेनिफिट मिल पाए. बट इंडिया हैज़ इट्स ओन कमिटमेंट टू डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. नाउ फोकस ऑन चाइना. यहाँ पे मैं US के कुछ एंगल से आपको समझाना चाहूँगा. सो बोथ जापान एंड US हैव सून देयर कंसंट्रेशन टू चाइना. एंड टू बिगिन विथ, जापान ने US के साथ ये कहा कि जॉइंट सिक्योरिटी जो पार्टनरशिप है, दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू ओवरकम द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ चाइना डोमिनेंस इन द साउथ चाइना सी एंड ईस्ट चाइना सी, राइट. और जो ताइवान स्ट्रेट है, दिस इज समथिंग विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर जापान. तो मेक श्योर आप इसको मैप में देख लें, बिकॉज एनी टाइम अ क्वेश्चन कैन बी डायरेक्टली आस्क्ड इन द प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन. सो कंसर्न रेज की गई है अबाउट द डोमिनेशन ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट, 5G इंटरप्शन इन क्वांटम टेक्नोलॉजी. एंड चाइना रिसेंट प्लेज, जहाँ पे उसने 1.4 ट्रिलियन तक इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात की है इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी में, तो ये वॉशिंगटन और जापान दोनों के लिए बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न है टू इंश्योर कि अगर कम्पिटिटिवनेस रिलायंस पार्टनरशिप बनानी है, कोर इज द इनिशिएटिव, देन जापान एंड यूनाइटेड स्टेट हैव टू वर्क टुगेदर एंड इंश्योर कि जो चाइना की डोमिनेंस है उस रीजन में उसको कम कीजिए. सो दिस इज समथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम दैट एंगल, फोकसिंग ऑन चाइना. Now coming to the MCQs of the question, this is the question based on current affairs. The first question is, now consider the following statement with regards to National Institutional Ranking Framework. Niti Aayog has established NRIF in 2015. This framework outlined the methodology to rank institutional across the country on the several parameters. So what you have to do, you have to just choose the correct option and write that answer in the comment section down below. Second, consider the following statement regarding the Pench Tiger Reserve. It is located in Andhra Pradesh, named after the pristine Pench River. The Pench River flows through the middle of park. So this type of question related to environment as well as current affair can be asked in the examination. So do participate, write your answer in the comment section down below. And for time being, if you have not subscribed to our channel, do check it out. Subscribe to the Aptitude Academy for Civil Service on YouTube. If you like this video, do not forget to give thumbs up. If you have any other concern, do let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I am signing off. Wish you all the best. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.